What is an opinion you once held that was proven completely wrong? If you respect someone, you'll get respect. No way Trump is possibly going to win. The British equivalent, there's no way the UK will vote to leave the European Union. People I work with will notice hard work and reward me for it. Turns out, you have to be social and have to advocate for your own career. I had a lot of misinformed opinions about drug use. I volunteered with the DARE, Drug Abuse Resistance Education, program in my small town through the local PD for a few years in middle school, early high school. I remember going to a party and seeing people smoke weed and being shocked there weren't overdoses or wild attacks or something. I did my own actual research on marijuana and realized how much of what DARE taught was either false or misinformation. My opinions shattered and I figured drug use wasn't that bad. I had to learn again that drugs really can be dangerous again later through the loss of a friend. Luckily I never really wanted to do anything more than weed anyway. But I had to learn my opinions were wrong twice before I had a healthy understanding. I think it would have been a lot easier if things were presented honestly from the beginning. DARE programs during my school years had me thinking people would put a gun to my head to get me to try drugs. Literally every time I have ever denied a drug offered to me, the other person was very chill on. Never asked again or pressured anything. Hey, you want some of this? No thanks dude. Alright, cool. That's it. Also, the Adam Ruins Everything episode on drugs is great. He breaks down how much of a catastrophic failure DARE was and the misconceptions of marijuana use. Yeah, same. No one has ever pressured me to do drugs. My home country is a great country that I should be proud of. I was 8 when they held the Beijing Olympics. I remember being so excited and proud. And that was the last time I've ever felt something positive for my home country. Well, you don't have to like your government, but there are other things to love about a country. Your culture, the people, the food, history, landscapes, etc. True. Everything you mentioned I truly love. It's just frustrating to see they all fell under control of the government though. They deserve better. Brexit was never going to happen. That politicians actually cared about what was best for the people and not about what would get them re-election. I used to think Kermit the Frog was a lizard until I was 12 years old. I thought his name was just part of the joke because he obviously looks like a lizard. Asterisk, he can't possibly say or do anything more stupid than he has already. Asterisk. I'm proven wrong nearly every day. The worst part is that I don't even have to name him for a lot of people to know exactly who I'm referring to. But here we are, still letting him get away with it, that being gay is a choice. And then I realized I was gay and also realized that it was not a choice. My grandfather was gay and during a conversation with him I referred to the time in his life when he married my grandmother as when he was confused. He stopped me right there. I was never confused. I knew I was gay, but I didn't want to accept it. I was convinced that I could change it, that I was supposed to get married and have kids, because that's what was normal. When I came out to my grandma as wanting to date girls, she was very confused because everyone likes girls more, but you just have to marry men. It's what you do. The older I get, the more I suspect that most people who say homosexuality is a choice are closeted or bisexual, whether knowingly or unknowingly. The reason they think it's a choice is because it is a choice. For them is here they choose to not follow their urges, and assume everyone else does the same. Whereas fully, mainly straight people don't really ever consider it. Until I was 18. I genuinely thought that the way to cook vegetables was to boil the hell out of them to the point where they tasted lifeless. Turns out broccoli, carrots and cauliflower both taste so much nicer when you roast them and add seasoning. Plus roast potatoes taste so much nicer than boiled potatoes. So your mom is Irish too? Close. I'm English. I thought COVID-19 was a normal flu. Until 2/3 more peeps died very quickly and now we have less NBRS death than normal. It really ain't a normal flu. If you ask me to describe it, it's like the flu up but with less symptoms, and it's more effective. If you're an honest and hard worker, management won't blackball you. Is that why the manager's best friends keep getting promoted? I just assumed they started working when I left the room, monsieur. I dunno about everyone else, but in my case my ex-boss's boss loved me and hated him, and I also knew a lot of shit that would get him fired if I made friends in high places, which I would have had I not been blackballed. I can browse Reddit and still be productive. Driving with the interior lights on in the car is in fact not illegal. That requiring welfare recipients to pass a drug test would save the government money. The problem with this idea is that children would suffer more than they already are with having drug addicts for parents. Now they'd be denied food and possibly health care. This is all another example of how being poor is criminalized in the USA. I'm not going to lie. Up till my late teens I literally thought depressed people just got over it. It was when I looked into depression more and one of my friends suffered from mental illness. That's when it really hit home that it's not as simple as that. Adults know best, and adults know what they're doing. Parents who use leashes on their toddlers just don't want to put the effort into teaching them to listen. I'm a parent now and have been paid back tenfold for those judgmental thoughts with a very rambunctious little boy who looks right at you with the sweetest little smile while he ignores you before running away like a squirrel on crack. We have the harness for him now. I so feel this one. I'm from Europe and never seen kids on leashes before coming to the UK. I was mortified. Sworn I would never put one on my child. She is not an animal. Judged so hard. Then my daughter was born and got on her feet real quick. Within weeks of her walking we came to realize that we either put the harness on her to help her walk safely. She is the run before you walk kinda girl. Meaning she ends up on her face a lot. And make sure she doesn't run into the road or we gonna have some serious problems. Got the harness. Tolerated the stares when visiting home. Wouldn't have done differently. Wish I wasn't so damn judgy before though. My parents used toddler reins for my siblings and I. But that's because we're triplets and it's impossible for one adult to hold all of our hands at once. When I was 8 months pregnant with my son I took my daughter, then 2.5, to the mall. She managed to wiggle out of my handhold and went running as fast as she could toward the automatic doors leading to the parking lot. I waddled after her as fast as I could. But at that stage of pregnancy I was incapable of any real speed. She ran right out onto the sidewalk and thankfully was returned by a kind older man. I bought a leash before we even left the mall. That all religious people are good, and the non-religious ones are most likely worse. Went to Catholic school for most of my life. Raised in a very liberal Catholic household. It all came crashing down when my city's cathedral caught a highly respected member pocketing a stack of money from collection boxes, red-handed on CCTV. It was a long time ago and I'm glad I no longer judge non-religious people. If you ask our debate an atheist, all religious people are evil. Some of the sweetest people I know are Christians. And I know asshole atheists. Hell, I'm an asshole atheist. Religion has nothing to do with personality. That my mental health issues would get better with age. That certain life achievements would make me feel better about myself and make me happy. That the government have my best interests at heart. That it is in fact what you know rather than who you know that will make you successful. That turned out to be completely false very quickly. That gay people were abominations. I was 13 and deep in that religious Kool-Aid. I had a best friend who was a girl in my classes. We got along really well and I think a part of me liked her. One day she told me she liked girls. I felt a pit hit my stomach, followed by waves of confusion, embarrassment and anger. It was a gut punch I definitely needed and I came to my senses and realized I was a bigot. That school would prepare me for life. that I can be friends with someone with completely opposite political opinions than me. If we don't agree on fundamentals, then I can't really see a friendship happening. Same. My parents think we can have different opinions on shit that is really morally obvious to me. It goes deeper than politics in those cases. I have friends with whom I disagree politically, but it goes straight to humanity. I can't be friends with a Trump supporter because of their underlying hatred for people who aren't like them. Monsieur, Jesus died for my sins. Talk about a guilt trip. *HM***. You're a sinner and you're bad and you have to feel bad and tell us all the reasons that you're bad and give us money, and if you don't, then you're giving up your one chance not to go to the worst place in the universe. Forever. Given to you by the best person ever. When he was tortured to death. Alright, thanks for coming everybody. See you next Sunday. Everyone has the same opportunities in America. And with hard work, we can all be successful. Therefore, those people whose families have been in poverty for generations, who turn to drugs and crime when they're teenagers, and who become teen parents must either be lazy or stupid. My facts were wrong. To someone who grows up in Beverly Hills with millionaire parents is going to have a hell of a lot more opportunity than someone who grows up in Detroit with homeless parents. Anyway, even if opportunities were equal, even if every child got a quality education and whatever higher education or vocational training they wanted for free, along with food and shelter and medical care, availability of opportunity does not undo trauma. It does not undo abuse. It does not undo learning disabilities, physical disabilities, and whatever else happens outside of the classroom. Monsieur, that every old person was wise. Used to think lasagna was made with tortillas. All dogs are boys and all cats are girls. I heard this a lot in first grade. I was the weird one for trying to debunk this. At the time, we owned a female dog and had a male cat walking around the neighborhood. Sometimes I feel that I missed out for not having kid logic moments. That people who experience unplanned pregnancies are irresponsible people and that they should have to have the child as you made your bed now lie in it type of thing. I was a bitter early 20-something. All refugees, immigrants are cool, awesome people that need to be supported because they are all good. No, I know they have just the same percentage of assholes as people that already live here. Plus, given the fact that they are in a completely different country, are traumatized by war, poverty and the travel to Europe in shit conditions, have zero perspectives here and have a religion that is mostly not compatible if you follow it strictly, well, they are just assholes like us. Immigrants, maybe. Refugees, not always. In some cases, immigrants chose to leave rather than stay and try to make things better. Refugees might have absolutely no choice in the matter and have been literally blown out of house and home. I thought that rabbits laid eggs until I was like 20. They don't. They stopped laying them when Cadbury changed the formula. You don't have to clean dishes right after you eat. You can just let them pile up for a couple days before cleaning it all. Found out real quick the best way to keep a clean living area is to just clean them right away. I'm facing this issue these days being at home. By God, I hate doing dishes. I remember when Trump was running, people said he was a good businessman. I used to say that he might be a brilliant businessman, but that doesn't necessarily make a good president. Now I know that he was a shitty businessman and a shitty president. The bipartisan party system was a good idea. That I am smart, and that I am good at video games. I don't know anything at all. And watching speedruns or tournaments of my favorite games shocks me at how great people do. Video games, like all endeavors in life, require knowledge and skill. There are pros and there are amateurs. You wouldn't think you could beat an NBA role player at basketball. In the beginning, I honestly thought the coronavirus panic was bullshit. I admitted I was wrong fairly quickly. but I made a couple of Facebook posts in February that made me look very foolish. I should have realized I was wrong the second I found myself agreeing with Trump. Never again. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.